Good morning, student. Today we are going to study a very important topic which is related to the public finance. My dear student, we have already aware about the public finance. Today my topic is public revenue source. As we know that we have already studied in accounts, there is a income and there is expenditure. So in this chapter, income is called revenue and expenditure. So government on different way to income. So this income is called revenue. So what are the sources of revenue I am going to discuss today. The first source of government is that taxes. Okay, the tax collected from public directly or indirectly, it is a revenue for government. Now there are other sources which are not taxes. These are called non-tax receipts. Okay, non-taxes receipt. So what is the non-tax receipt? My dear student, it is very important because non-tax receipts are lists many, because in our country this direct tax or indirect tax collected by public is very less compared to the non-tax receipts. So what you have to observe, the first I am going to give non-tax receipt example is interest on whatever the interest earned by the government through any other activities. Okay, it is also called interest receipts. Okay, so it comes under non-tax receipts. So there are different activities, you have already know. There are governments have different type of savings deposits in the market as well as another financial institution. So whatever the government on this interest, it is also a revenue. Okay, now the second is dividend. My dear student, you have already aware about dividend. Dividend is also an income which is earned by government. So what type of the dividend? So when government buy any shares from any financial institutional company, another company, whatever the government buy any type of shares, government earns some dividend. These are called the revenue, but these are now also called non-tax revenues. And you have already know that there are so many government factories which is called public sector units. So any profit earned by government company, it is also a source of revenue. Now the another is that revenue from service provided. What is this meaning? You know, different types of park, different types of toll plazas and another type of facility which is given by the government in our day-to-day life. For municipal corporation example, so whatever the services they charge from us, this also comes under the source of revenue. So you can write down the services, revenue from services, revenue from services. So there are different example in our day-to-day life. Water supplies, we have paying the water supply bills, electricity bills, toll plazas bills, park expenses, whatever the expenses in our day-to-day life which is given to the government directly, the government provided that type of services is called revenue from the services. So my dear student, there are the different sources of the public revenue, but sometimes you have to know the public borrowing. My dear student, what is the meaning of public borrowing? Sometimes government unable to earn this receipt because expenditure is more than income. So how to meet this expenditure? Government is going to borrow. Okay, so that is called borrowing. It is just like a loan. It means government is going to take a loan from any financial institution, another institution, any companies. So it is also a loan. But why the government is going to take a loan? Because the government is going to meet all the public expenditures. So sometimes government is also going to issue a currency. Okay. So that is called printing currency. You can say that printing currency in a country. This is also another way that government is going to generate a revenue, because the government want to meet whatever the expenditure. So you can say that public finance, in public finance there is a income and expenditure. So government try to maintain income and expenditure, but it is not possible. Every time we faces fiscal deficit, what you have already know, the fiscal deficit arises because when public expenditure is going to be arises. You can say that when expenditure is more than income, what is this? Loss. You have already studied in accounts. So government is trying to minimize the public expenditure in different approaches. We will discuss in another video. Okay, I hope you understand, my dear student. Thank you.